The 76ers pull off a big-time win in game number 3 to make the series 2-1. They beat the Knicks 125-114. That is how you bounce back. We said before this game that this team's identity, who they were deep down, would show in this game. Were they the team that were just going to let down, let New York come into your building, right? All these Knicks fans acted like they were coming in to take over the Wells Fargo Center. And the fact of the matter is they spent all that hard-earned money to go and watch their team get whooped. The Sixers showed that they were willing to fight, push through adversity. They had a huge second half en route to a big-time win, and we have a lot to get into as it pertains to this game. But, man, shout out to the Sixers. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. Was it the best game you could have asked for? No. But they stepped on their throat in the third quarter, and they went 9 for 12 from 3. 9 for 12 in one quarter. Is that replicable? Maybe not. But the fact of the matter is they did it. We were waiting for this team to finally kick it into gear, and they got it done at home. And now, if you win on Sunday, which obviously you don't want to get too ahead of yourself, one game at a time, but if you win that game, now it's 2-2 going back to the Garden where you should have won a couple days ago. Then you have a series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Philly Take with RB. We're live every single game. We had, once again, over 40,000 people watching. Best watch party when it comes to Sixer games. Tap in with us every game, and we give you the post-game coverage. Now, coming out right after the game, obviously there's a lot going on tonight with sports, the draft, all that. But we get a report from Woj, all right? And don't worry, Knicks fans, I'll get to you as well. Woj says this about Joel Embiid. Sixers star Joel Embiid has been treated for a mild case of Bell's palsy for the past week. The condition began during the play-in victory over Miami, but he has wanted to keep it private to avoid distractions for his team. So we were asking, why is Embiid wearing sunglasses in the locker room and, going to like press conferences? Well, here's why. He has a condition. You may be asking yourself, what is Bell's palsy? I was doing the same thing. Oh, did I mention that Kelly Oubre got in another car accident after last game? The world, the universe hates the Sixers. They want to pin everything against the Sixers for some reason. All these guys are going through these things. Even Kelly Oubre joked after this game, I should hire a driver. Yeah, you should, Kelly. We're going to need you to step up. And Joel Embiid has been dealing with this. And essentially, in short form, shout out to Jacob Moreno here on Twitter, Bell's palsy is an unexplained episode of facial muscle weakness or paralysis. It begins suddenly and worsens over 48 hours. This condition results from damage to the facial nerve. Pain and discomfort usually occur on one side of the face. So literally half your face is paralyzed. That's what Joel Embiid's going through. This guy, the amount of stuff that he has had to go through is absolutely insane. He even said after the game in an interview, this was from Austin Krell I saw on Twitter, he's always thinking, why me? Why am I going through these ailments? Really? I agree. How much stuff is Joel Embiid going to have to go through, man? I mean, the things that I've learned from being a fan of this team, medical-wise, are insane. But Joel Embiid fights through, and he has Bell's palsy, and you know what he does? He brings this team back in the series by dropping 50 points. 50 points. Here was the interview after the game. He says, quote, "The one thing I'm not going to do is give up. No matter what happens, got to keep pushing, fighting, and putting my body on the line for my family, for this city, for this team." This guy's incredible. How could you hate on him? And how could you hate him on New York, when he drops 45 plus against you for the first time in the playoffs that anybody's done that since Michael Jordan? Joel Embiid is an absolute treasure. I could say it all day, but the fact of the matter is the guy dropped 50 points on one eye and one knee. And pretty much banged up in every way you could think of. This guy wasn't even supposed to return this season, and he drops 50 points. 13 for 19, 19 for 21 from the line. I know what they're going to say. I know what the Knicks fans are going to say. Oh, well, he got to the line too much. Oh, well, he should have been ejected early in the game. I agree. Embiid does need to chill out. Maybe he went over, right? Maybe overstepped, went over the boundary. But guess what, Knicks fans? I don't care. Oh, wait, you're telling me the Knicks, who were crying all game long, Hartenstein, DiVincenzo, you're telling me even Thibodeau, all these guys crying, right? oh, when the refs aren't on your side for once, right? When the refs screw you a little bit, you can't push through and win the game. I thought in the first half, the refs were bad on both sides, but did Embiid get whistles in the second half? Sure. But let's be honest, in the first half, when he got no whistles, he was getting banged up every play. He was literally getting knocked to the ground. And at one point, it felt like, damn, the officials traveled from New York. But Joel Embiid fought through. The Sixers fought through. And the Knicks sat there and cried about it. And let's be honest, right? The Knicks aren't going to be the same on the road. Who said that yesterday? I did. The role players weren't going to be all the same. Brunson had a fantastic night, but it didn't matter because you came into Philly. You came into our building. They always say, someone's got to get one on the road. Well, guess what? This is the Sixers' house, and Joel Embiid dropped 50 on one leg and one eye. Unbelievable game. 8 rebounds, 4 assists. And you look at this game overall, I mean, Maxey gave 25. He didn't have his best night, but in that third quarter, he had 10 points in about 3 minutes, got this team going. In my opinion, it felt at halftime that, okay, the Knicks are still in control. The Sixers are matching them in every component. The Sixers are staying afloat. They're staying level. But to win this game, they needed to give that little extra oomph. They needed to be assertive and take over this game. It felt like they were still playing to the Knicks' tempo and pace in this game. And that's exactly what the Sixers did, going 9 for 12, shooting 77% from the field in the third quarter. Like I said, they may not be able to do that every game, but they did it tonight, and it won them the game. Joel Embiid went 5 for 7 from 3 tonight. He hit back-to-back-to-back, 3 in a row in the third quarter. He hit 4 total then. Lowry contributed. Maxey hit a couple big ones. And really another big adjustment by Nick Nurse. He benched Tobias Harris in the last 8 minutes of the game. Thank you, Nurse. This is what we have been waiting for. No offense to Tobias. Again, can't really do that much. And Tobias Harris was pulled with 8 minutes to go. Nurse ran the closing lineup that he ran against Miami, and he hasn't run it in a couple games. And guess what? It works to perfection. The Sixers were able to close him out. And what has the Sixer Nation been saying about the bench, huh? Buddy Hield, 4 minutes, 0 for 2. What did Nurse do? He made an adjustment. He pulled Buddy Hield. And who does he put in? The spark plug. That's what I'm calling him. Campaign. Campaign is the guy that's ready to step in and make the most of the moment. He is ready to get a bucket. He goes 11 points in 16 minutes off the bench. He was the unsung hero. I said, somebody's got to be the unsung hero. He had 15 out of Kelly Oubre Jr., which is great. 7 rebounds, 3 assists. But Campaign, that much needed spark off the bench, was absolutely huge. And Nick Batum gave you 4 and 6 rebounds along with 2 blocks. Couple great defensive plays. I thought Oubre tried his best on Brunson. Brunson had a good night. He finally got going. But guess what? It didn't matter. Yet Isaiah Hartenstein with 14. Feels like he shoots the same floater every time. And he was crying. He got into foul trouble with 5. You had Mitchell Robinson, who got in foul trouble as well. Apparently, Robinson came off the floor at the end of the game with a boot on, not because of the Embiid play, because of one later. And I know the Knicks fans were all pissed off. But then again, man, like I said, the Sixers got screwed by the refs last game. And, yeah, we complained about it, but you had to push through and get ready for the next game. Josh Hart goes 20 points. Anunoby with 17. DiVincenzo didn't really do much. The Sixers took control in the third quarter. They never looked back. The Knicks cut it a few points in the fourth to, 10, 8 points. But the Sixers always answered back. And shot at the Nick Nurse at the end of the game, calling 2 big timeouts. When the Sixers were having inbounding issues, he said, timeout, timeout. I'm making sure you hear me this time. Meanwhile, the other end, you got Tom Thibodeau, like I said, complaining, right? Here's what Tibbs said. Now, Tibbs is on the train of the Knicks Nation crying about refs. Interesting, right? Well, but when Sixer fans do it, it is the worst atrocity, is the biggest crime in the world. Tibbs on Jalen Brunson's whistle versus Embiid's. Quote, JB ended up with 12 free throws. A lot of those came at the end. I'll send my clips in like I do every game, and they will say marginal contact. You want to talk about marginal contact? That's what happened at the end of last game when Maxey didn't have a foul, and it should have been a foul on Harden Brunson. That wasn't marginal contact. But anyway, he says, then we'll have marginal contact on Embiid, and he'll be at the line 21 times. That's the way it works. Part 2. Tom Thibodeau on the Joel Embiid flagrant foul. Quote, which one? The one they called or the one they didn't call? Just want to make sure we have clarity on that. So again, look at this guy, man. Complaining, making excuses, just like they said the Sixers fans were oh so bad for doing the last couple of days, when in fact, the NBA confirmed it on the last 2-minute report. They said it was screwed. So yeah, let them put that on the report tomorrow. Have fun reading it. How about that? Anyway, man, a big valiant effort for the Sixers. And you got to listen to RB, man. I said this at 11:20 a.m. today. Joel Embiid is going, what Joel's going to do to the Knicks will be memorable. They are not ready for the Wells Fargo. And you see all these little bookmarks right here, 150. All these Knicks fans, where are they at? They don't show up. They don't show up when they lose. They show up when they win, but not when they lose. So anyway, that's where we're at, man. What an unbelievable effort. I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to sit back sometimes and tip your cap if you're a New York fan. Again, it's all banter. It's all smack talk. But even if it was me on the other side, like the Knicks had no answer for Joel Embiid. They were feeding him every possession. And when he's knocking down that long range shot too, sometimes you just got to tip your cap. There's nothing you can do. Joel was unstoppable. And the fact that he's even out there on the floor still, the fact that now he's dealing with an eye condition and he probably can't see straight and he can't walk straight and he's dropping 50 points. That is the MVP caliber game. That is the game that got the Sixers juiced up. And if they can win on Sunday, it is now 2-2 and it's a brand new series. So big time win for Philadelphia. We'll see if they can keep it up. Knicks lead the series 2-1. Big time win for the Sixers. Give me your thoughts down below. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.